Um, yeah, as I say every week, just focus on the sound of the mantras. This is a very simple process. No need to imagine anything in your mind. Just focus on the sound of the mantras. And you may want to close your eyes and just relax in the sound, this purifying sound. So I'm going to start off just offering respects to my spiritual teacher. And that's not on the mantra card. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Saraswaripananda Paramaham Sayati Namine. So now Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Saraswaripananda Paramaham Sayati Namine. Vaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Your turn. Repeat this mantra. Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. My turn. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Your turn. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Hari Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Haribo Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana 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 Haribo Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Your turn. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Haribo Nitai Go Nitai Go Haribo 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 Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Let's chant together. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama. Keep going. Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. One more time. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. So that's the process of Kirtan meditation. Very simple to apply. No need to try and blank your mind. Just focus in on the sound of these mantras and it'll purify your heart and mind. So that's one of the focuses we do here, focusing on these sacred sounds. I'd like to invite Tad to come forward. He's going to go through a guided session, Tad, or we'll see what he does. He's going to speak a little bit anyway about this process. And the focus of the night we're going to do after dinner. Too bad for you guys online. Yep, and a whole hour and a half after that. So, thank you.
Sometimes we do different activities. We do Guranga chanting or whatever, but we can just chant for a couple of minutes, and then if you think of any questions that might come up, feel free to ask. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana 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 Gopala, 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 Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Gopala, 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 Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Gopala, 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 Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Alright guys, so this is the part of the evening where we talk a little bit on yoga philosophy, on Vedanta. The Veda meaning all knowledge, nothing is left out. And oftentimes we throw it open to people. If you have a question about anything, you feel free to ask without being shy. People are usually, it's strange, people are shy to ask questions. My spiritual master used to joke about it. He'd ask, you know, does anyone have any questions? If there's no answer, he said, oh good, you know everything, I don't have to talk. And he'd just go, yes, yeah.
In like the yoga world, it's common for the word consciousness to come up. And from my experience talking to different students that come along, there seems to be a bit of confusion about what consciousness is. I'm not sure, maybe if you were able to sort of expand on what the yoga teachings are about consciousness.
Consciousness, okay. All right, so consciousness comes from life. Sometimes it's interwoven with different, like for example, in China, in old China, they used to, the qi that permeates the entire body sometimes is seen as the consciousness of the body. It means that, like if you hold your hand up and you touch your finger with the other finger like this, you're aware of it because you're pervading your entire body. The living being or the spark of life, you, the eternal aspect, you're eternally existing. There's never a time when you have not existed. And at this particular point in your history, you're sitting within whatever particular body you have on, be it male or female. It's insubsequential. It's described in the Yoga Sutras. We sit within the heart region of the body. In the center there. And from you spreads an energy. It's much like sunlight is coming from the sun, but it's usually limited to one's own body, and it goes a little bit beyond, like the whole aura trip and all that. People get right into that stuff, so they're able to read how the energy passes through the body and what looks good, what looks bad, da 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 da. In Chinese medicine, for example, it's the qi. They call it the qi that's pervading. So this is known as consciousness. Consciousness is all pervading over the body. You're aware of any part of your body that I would touch, right? If I had a little needle, a tiny needle, and I prick the sole of your foot, you would feel it because you're consciously aware that you're pervading your body and you're feeling that aspect that I'm, ow, stop it, So consciousness, we have two types of consciousness we can look at. One is the individual conscious, basically each and every one of us is a totally conscious living being. And we're conscious of everything around us. We're conscious of, when sometimes, for example, you look at the way the senses work in the body. You have your tongue, your nose, your eyes, your ears, your sense of touch. These 5 senses are continuously wanting to unite with the various sense objects. And this is immediately experienced in the conscious mind, isn't it? Like if you put your cold hand near to a warm place, you're consciously aware of the change, right? Or if you taste a particular type of food, you're consciously aware of that. This is consciousness. This is because you're pervading your body, but if I'm doing it, you're not aware of it. So, in other words, it's limited consciousness. I have consciousness of my own environment, of my own body, but not of yours. When you're tasting a nice taste, I'm certainly not necessarily tasting that taste, right? I may be eating a red hot chili while you're eating some sweet nectar. There's a great difference going on. So there's individual consciousness, right? A lot of times we'll hear Jiva Krishnadas talking about our position as being like sparks springing from a fire. Now, each and every one of those millions of sparks springing from that gigantic fire has its own energy within it. It has its own little amount of light. And that's kind of like we are, as separate individual sparks of life. Yeah? Each and every one of us has a particular potency, but it's limited. So collectively, wherever there's life, there's chi, there's energy. Like the Qigong guys, for example, they'll go out and try and look for a place in nature where the trees are healthy and the earth is healthy. You can do Qigong, of course, in a desert, but it's not the same as doing it in a lush forest. You know what I'm saying? because around you is so much other life. Whereas in the desert, it's very limited. There may be a few scorpions or insects or whatever. You know, but it's very limited. But you do it in a very lush place, you know, where there's water flowing. So there's life everywhere. And you can pull that in. So as you take your breath, you're drawing the totality. You cannot waste that energy. You cannot steal it. You cannot own it. But you can borrow it for a little while, and it may enter your body if you're focusing that way. And then you let it go again into the totality of it all. So collectively, when we all mush together, you can say that there's a slightly bigger light, right? There's a slightly bigger effulgence. And it's not that I become you and you become me. It's simply that, you know, your own body, for example, is teeming with life. There are uncountable living entities living in your body's like a little universe in itself. You know, the microbes and the bacteria and so forth and so on, they're all different forms of life. They're living things. It's not dead matter. You know, the bacteria in your gut, the whole trip, it's amazing what's going on when you get into it. We won't get too scientific on this, but so consciousness is each individual's ability to experience their immediate environment. Yeah, I'm consciously aware of this immediate environment. And it extends out. It's kind of like, it's really trippy stuff because it extends out. We're also aware there's stuff going on out in the street out there, you know, just from the sounds coming in. There's cars obviously passing. Once in a while you hear a tram rumble down, you know. So you wouldn't experience that if you weren't a conscious living being. So the consciousness, when we're talking about it, the way my spiritual master was describing it to me, it's like it's that energy that is springing from the self, the living being, from you. And it's known by different names in different cultures. You know, the Chinese call it the qi. You know, but it's in a way we can understand. It's kind of like sunlight springing from the sun. So as you sit in the heart of your body, the Shen or the spirit, the person sits within this region of the body. This is where we're located in the body. Yeah, and from there it springs out to all corners. In Qigong, there's some Qigong we do, as you breathe in, you're absorbing into what's called the dantian below the navel there and expanding it through the whole body, so your whole body's breathing. So it's not just the lungs. You breathe, you feel your toes swell up, you feel your fingertips swell up, you feel the top of your head expand, everything expands. It feels like it's getting bigger. And as you exhale, you're contracting, so you learn to breathe with your whole body. And as you breathe, you're drawing the breath from a very far away place, so that the qi that's way out there is coming into you, and then it leaves again. So this is just a method of Qigong on more advanced levels, but it's if I wasn't a conscious being, I wouldn't be able to do that. So when I talk about my consciousness, I'm talking about that perception that I have of what's around me. Now, most people are conscious, but they're only material conscious. They're only conscious of this one dimension we're in, this material planet, and the so-called universe around us. It's all material. But there's another type of consciousness we can develop, which is beyond the material. So I'll just go back, I'll come back to this, but when we talk about individual consciousness, you know, it's there, but then there's all-pervading consciousness, which is everywhere. And this is the absolute truth, this is the divine. You know, Omkara is the sound representation of that energy, of that consciousness, that first sound vibration depicting the absolute truth. Like a spark is springing from a fire, so you're springing from it, that great consciousness. I'm talking a little impersonal here, but the point is that we can get down to is that I'm conscious because I'm a distinct living being from all other living beings. You understand? And but like all of you guys, I'm limited in what I can do with that consciousness. I'm stuck in my own body, and you're stuck in your own body. You don't experience much beyond your body. You know, you certainly don't feel the pains of others. You can understand someone's suffering or being happy. Yeah, of course, through your senses you can perceive this, but you're not experiencing it. You know, there's a dog at home we have, and the back part of her body isn't working very well. You know. And, you know, you can see it's causing us some misery. The tail's down, you know. Poor thing, you know. But I'm not experiencing it, but I can appreciate that this living entity is suffering a little bit here. We should try and help her. You know what I mean? So you can take your consciousness, expand it out a little bit to, you know, in that sense. But it's still very limited. It doesn't include everyone. When we talk about the absolute consciousness, the supreme, it is all-pervading. There's not a place where it doesn't exist. Even in so-called dead matter, it comes down to the atomic particle. The reason the atomic particle has energy is because it's infused with this divine consciousness. Yeah, that's how it moves. Otherwise, it couldn't move. The atoms would be, there's no such thing as dead matter really. It may appear to be just dust and nothing, but it's actually not. You get down into the atomic level, there's all kinds of activities going on due to the energies. So where's that energy coming from? Something just doesn't lie there and cease to exist. Everything is in transition in the material world. You know, as we know, what was making up the apple yesterday, it could be making up my glass of milk today, you know, in the sense that, you know, someone ate the apple, they go to the toilet, the worms eat that, the bird eats the worm, the bird flies over the cow patch and has a twit, you know, that goes on the grass, the cow eats the grass, those same molecular particles are changing. And then it comes out as some milk, which I'm drinking, you know, maybe a month later or whatever. This is the nature of material energy. Nothing is new. Everything is recycled. Every particle of matter in your own body has been used somewhere else before. And it's only there temporarily anyway. As we know, every part of your body that you have, the longest remaining part will be 7 years maximum. And that's when your body's old and the metabolism slows down. When you're younger, it's usually around 3 to 5 years. Most of your body is replaced by other particles of matter. But you're the conscious living being. You remain the same. And it's like we point out often that if you have a memory from your childhood, you're going back way to your earliest memories, you know, way back there. You know you were there experiencing it. It may be something sweet you did with your parents, or just some experience you felt when you first went to school, or something or other, even before then, you know. Something in your mind where you know you were there, otherwise you wouldn't have the experience. You were the conscious awareness that experienced that way back then. Okay? Now, you as a conscious aware living being now is exactly the same. You haven't changed, but the body you had has changed. It went through a cycle from being a child. It's like a seed that comes up, you know, into the flower, and then it blossoms, and then it starts withering, and then it fades away. And that's the same cycle your body's going through, but it's just on a bigger scale, that's all. But you're the same aware person today as you were when you had that earliest experience. There's no change in you. The self doesn't change. The self always remains the same. But you, the self, the conscious living being within that body, can become covered by the material elements that cover, the cover the soul, the cover the living being. Especially the mind, the intelligence, and what we call the false ego or the false identity. And this is that falseness that we have about ourselves. Oh, I'm in a female body, I'm a female. Oh, I'm in a male body, I'm a male. I'm in a black body, I'm black. I'm in a white body, I'm white. It's just crazy. It's just silly stuff. It's really kindergarten consciousness, that. Because it's on such a base level. There's no deep thought in that. Aham brahmasmi, I am spirit. I am not this body. I am the conscious living being, the aware self that is using this body. My existence does not depend upon the existence of the body I have on. Whether I have my body on or not, I will continue to exist. Yeah? So this is the liberated consciousness that we come to before our spiritual journey. That's the beginning of spiritual life, just that consciousness. Yeah. Okay. So, do you understand that consciousness basically means is proof of your own existence, really? Otherwise, there'd be no consciousness. A lot of times they make these movies. They have these artificial intelligent robots and all this kind of shit going on, and it's just all crap. No matter how good they get it, it's still a friggin' program at the end of the day, and it can still be interrupted. It's not that there's a point where they become a living conscious being. No, there's no AI that becomes conscious. It's all programmed. That's why they call it artificial. It's artificial. It's not real. And they say, oh, we're making these leaps and bounds. Yeah, go for it. They'll never create life. Life is a distinct energy from matter. Life does not come from matter. Life comes from somewhere else. You've come from somewhere else. This is known as Vaikuntha, or the spiritual world. The world of no anxiety. The world of happiness and love. And that is the definition of the spiritual sky. And we always have this independent nature about ourselves. We always have freedom to act or not to act in any way we want to. Why? Because love, real love, is based on freedom. If I really love you, I will never force you to act in a certain way. I will leave you alone and let you live your life peacefully. So the Supreme is like that with us. The Supreme does not force love upon us. The very thought, it's actually diametrically opposed. Force and love. You cannot force love. Love is giving of the self voluntarily because there's just love there. The closest thing is described in the Yoga Sutras, the closest thing we get to that type of love, that selfless love in this world, is the parental, especially the mother and the child. That selfless love, no sleep, still getting up, come on, giving your body, giving your full attention to help this other living entity develop their body. That's pretty selfless. There's other examples, of course. All these people who do wonderful altruistic work, they go out and help those less fortunate than themselves at the expense of their own enjoyment. It's to be commended. It's wonderful. People do this. But the thing is, because we have this freedom of choice, along our history, somewhere we've made a bad choice. I want to enjoy the material energy. I want to be independent of any spiritual rules or laws. I want to actually be able to go and just be myself. And just me. And so this material dimension is there for those of us that want that desire fulfilled. And we're allowed to come. But the problem is when we come to it, we get caught by it. And it's very simple, really, how it works. You know, you have this body on, you're given this body, you're given this mind and the 5 senses, and that's it. And these 5 senses are always chasing after the various sense objects within this dimension. Oh, this will make me happy, this will make me happy, this will make me happy. But as we know, yeah, you might get a little happiness, but it doesn't last that long. So the conscious living being is put into an embarrassing position. We're embarrassed here. You know, you're a slave to the mind and the senses. You know, none of us want to be like that. Here I am trying to be cool and be number one, and my tongue calls out and I'm eating my 3rd pizza, you know. Not good. It's already hard enough. Without, you know, extra digestion going to work, taking all my energy. A very simplistic example, but you understand what I'm saying. This world is a trap for the living being. We're caught like flies in a trap here. So our consciousness in this world becomes dulled. It becomes, oftentimes it's described like if you hold up, you know, a yellow glass or a blue glass in front of your eyes, everything will look according to the color of that glass, right? It's not really how it is. You understand? It's the type of illusion going on. It'll look good enough, maybe, you know, but it's like me, I do a lot of driving and I wear these yellow anti-glare glasses, you know. When you take them off, it's completely different, you know, what you see. So it's kind of like that for us in this world. We see the promise of happiness everywhere and we faithfully go after it, you know. And 9 times out of 10, you know, we get my spiritual master describes it kind of like a mirage in the desert. You know, we're in this world and we're wanting to taste love, we're wanting to taste happiness. And so you see this mirage, this promise of it. And so full of faith you dive in. And he said, just come up with a mouthful of dust again, you know. And that's how it is. It really is like that. Your sensual enjoyments will last X amount of time and then it's gone. It burns out. It's finished. I mean, you know, you get into the higher sensual pleasures, you know. Well, let's look at sex. I mean, how much sex can you really have? Can you go 24 hours? I don't know. I don't think I could. I don't think I ever could. Geez, you'd be pretty exhausted. How much ice cream in the freezer do you need? How much can you eat? You know? How much Jimi Hendrix can you listen to? Or whatever music you like. You know? How many things can you see through? How many movies can you see through your eyes? I mean, geez, before your head starts spinning. You know? You do those marathons, right? You're watching the whole series of whatever it was. The John Wick series or whatever. You know? 6 hours later. You know? So it's like that. You have these 5 senses, sense of touch, you know, and they're always feeding your mind, and and it's delivering a lie all the time. Come and enjoy this is the one. This is the one you haven't experienced yet, but it will make you happy. And you go, okay. And it's because you want to be happy, and you deserve to be happy. But when you look in the wrong place, that's a mouthful of dust again. New relationships, new this, new that, new clothes, new car, new house, da-da, da-da. It goes on and on. And you know, it's like we make fun sometimes. Oh, this is my soulmate. Whoops. No, it's actually this guy. No, this one. You know, how many soulmates do you need? Do you have? I thought it was only one. Yeah. Your soulmate's there, but you're looking in the wrong place. Your soulmate is experienced in yoga. When you re-establish your own awareness of who you are, your own consciousness, that I am an eternal spark of life. My eternal position is to be in loving union and friendship with the Supreme, who is the most beautiful, the most wise, the most powerful, the most everything incomplete, the most wealthy, and who has always loved me unconditionally, no matter where I've been roaming in this material world and how many times I've forgotten, still patiently waiting as a dear friend and someone who really loves you will. Yeah. No conditions. The divine doesn't get on your case for leaving the toilet seat up. So when we talk of consciousness, we're talking about the awareness we all have as distinct particles. And our awareness that we develop in this world is usually perverted due to the input that we've received through the senses. That's why when it comes to spiritual knowledge, we should actually follow the example of those that have gone before us and develop that humility where we can realize that I actually don't know that much at all. And actually, there's a point in our spiritual awareness where we can realize our material predicament, how we're stuck here. And it's sorrowful. It's a sorrowful condition, but the sorrowful isn't negative. It's a sweet sorrow, because you can reflect that this is not my home. I'm actually not meant to be here. This is a temporary arrangement only. It seems real, it seems solid, it seems, but it's not. I get little glimpses of the frailty of all this. We get little glimpses of the frailty of our own body, for example. You know, you just about get hit by that car as you're crossing the road. Or you somehow or other you end up in ICU, you know, closer to death than life. And then you recover from that, you know. This world is just a minefield of dangers, really, for the soul. There's nothing guaranteed. When you're younger, you think, oh, I've got plenty of time left, you know. That illusion's there, you know. Actually, one of the great teachers in our line of disciplic succession was asked, this is going back a few hundred years, or a few thousand years actually, what is the greatest amazement, the greatest wonder that there is? And he says, the greatest wonder is that even though all the forefathers have passed, even though people are dying left, right, and center around us as we get older, you know, grandparents go first usually, and parents grow. If people are living out their life cycle, that we never think my turn's coming. Or if my turn's coming, it's way down the track. You know? For some reason, he said, this is the most wonderful illusion this world presents. Everyone thinks they're secure. And in a sense, it's true because it's giving you a little glimpse of your own internality. But the problem is most people associate that internality with the material body they're in. So they think, oh, my body will last forever. You know? But it's not. It's not going to last forever. I mean, I was reading the news a couple of mornings back, 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old dead from some car crash. They weren't thinking that 2 seconds before that happened. They're out having fun, They're trying to get away from the cops, which is possibly something I might have done in my youth. With my V8s and fat tires. you know what I'm saying? But no, it's just gone, it's over. So none of us have a guarantee on how long we're staying in this body. Now, the point is that even at the point of death, when you're leaving this body, you're consciously aware. There's consciousness there. But what happens for most people, it's such a shock, they become numbed. If you develop your spiritual consciousness, there's no embarrassment at death. It is simply like moving out of one apartment situation into another. You can be consciously aware at the time of death as to what is happening to you. You don't get forced by the laws of material nature, thrown from the one body into the next situation you're going to turn up in. Generally, that's what happens. You get pushed out of one body and then you have to go into a new situation. And eventually you arrive at the next mother, whoever she may be. And according to your actions, according to your desires, you don't know where you're going. You might have a nice idea, oh, I'd like to go there, good luck. There's no guarantee. But with the divine, there is a guarantee. If you learn in this lifetime as an individual, it's got nothing to do with anything, joining anything, quitting anything, but you as an individual are able to receive the supreme within the core of your heart, your mind. And we offer this via sound vibration. We know that Gopala, Govinda, Krishna, whatever name you wish to use, Jehovah, Eloi, Allah, it does not matter. That same supreme being, this is where my focus should go. If I want a stable future, this is the best place to point. All right, it's a very vast subject matter. I've tried to throw in a few points here just to stimulate you and make you think. And it's always a hard job. But they're waving from the kitchen frantically. This must mean that the food's ready to come out. So what we'll do, we'll have to quit. Otherwise, I'll get the sack. We'll chant for a little bit while they're bringing it out. And is that okay, guys? I mean, did that help you about consciousness any better? Or yeah? Yeah. You are the conscious living being living within that body. Consciousness is the awareness of self, of the self, of you. You experience everything around you. Okay, let's have a wee chant as they bring the food out. So what will happen, they bring the food out, we eat. By 1:30, we should be back to chanting again. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama 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 Madana Mohana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. All right, let's get into the eating and then we can get back to some chanting at about 6:30. Thank you. Namo Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namini Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radhe Krishna Pristayate. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Haribo. Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Haribo.
Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna
Nityananda Balaram, Nityananda Balaram, Nityananda Balaram, Hari Bol.
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 Hari Bol, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, 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 Hari Bol.
Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana.
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 Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana. Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala 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 Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala 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 Govinda Rama Madana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Let's change it. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. 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 Gopala Govinda Rama Medana Mohana 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 Gopala Govinda Rama Medana Mohana. How many people are here for the first time tonight? Just so we can get an idea. Okay, so in our sometimes we chant different mantras, but there's 8 specific verses from Gauranga or Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and only 8 verses, very short, very sweet, but it's to it encapsulates in this human form of life what we should be aiming for. And I'll just say a couple of verses now. One of them relates to chanting the names of the Lord. So we chant in a humble state of mind. We try and we're not feeling too proud about anything much. Devoid of all sense of false prestige. Yeah? There's different symptoms he's given us to, because when we're chanting, after all, you want to know, is there more to it than this? There's not really. All you have to really do is listen and respond. But if you want to go a little deeper, Lord Chaitanya has kindly given us these 8 verses so we can reflect on where we're at, where our position is as individuals. And so he's, oh my Lord, your holy names alone can render or benediction to the living beings. And thus you have hundreds of millions of these names, like Krishna, Rama, Govinda, Allah. There are not any hard and fast rules for chanting any of these names. In other words, you don't have to be anyone special. It's not reserved for just a few. It's for anyone. Anyone can chant the names of the Lord. Yeah. And as he's pointing out, each and every one of them is invested with transcendental potency. There's a description that the name of the Lord and the Lord directly are non-different. The potency is the same as all spiritual potency. It's not material. So we take this very seriously as we're chanting. We focus our attention on these sounds and just repeat them and just try and rest on them as we're chanting them. You don't expect anything. Just relax and chill and chant. It's not about trying to see something or, anything special. He goes on, he says, one can chant the holy names of the Lord in a humble state of mind, feeling oneself to be lower than the straw in the street, and devoid of all sense of false prestige, not desiring any respect for themselves, but yet offering all respects to others. So in such a state of mind, one can chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. So it's a point of humility that each of us has to try and arrive at. We were not feeling so great, that I'm so advanced, I'm a spiritually advanced person, or whatever crap may be going through your head. You take the back step in spiritual life. Spiritual life, the lowest is the highest, but it's not artificial. Yeah. In the material world, people aspire to be the wealthiest, the most beautiful, the highest is the highest. But in the spiritual world, it's the opposite. The lowest is the highest. So we aspire for that condition of life where we don't feel ourselves to be that overly important. After all, there's uncountable living beings just like me. What would make me number one? Nothing. I have no special traits or qualities. I don't know about you guys, but I'd be embarrassed to show you what goes on in here sometimes. Everyone has to deal with their own shit, so to speak. So that's how it is. So, we approach the divine in that humble way. That I'm in a position where I'm approaching you like with in the Yoga Sutras, it would talk about how to approach humbly with a blade of grass between your teeth. It's very submissive. That it provokes an image, doesn't it, of humility and submissiveness. And that's how we should approach the divine. That I'm in a fallen condition and I'm begging for your mercy upon me. Please pick me up. Please, I have no ability myself to pick myself up. I talk about it and brag about it to others, but actually I'm a lost cause, so please come and save me. In other words, you give up like that. You give your heart, you give your sincerity like that. But this condition is not artificial. And it's arrived at simply by chanting. The chanting actually brings us to a point of humility, because what it does, as you associate with the chanting more and more, it purifies your heart and your mind. It cleanses all the dust that's been accumulating for years on end, for lifetimes, all that muck, the anger, the lust, the greed, the bewilderment, the confusion, the chaos, the hypocrisy within ourselves. So the holy names do this. And an analogy I'll just give a quick analogy to try and help you. It's not hard. It's not hard to understand it. But and then we'll carry on chanting. But I remember many years ago in Perth, Subhadra, when she was just a little child, she was just a little peck. She's 23 now. But she was like, oh, I don't know, probably about 3 or 4. And it was a really hot day in Perth. It was like a 41 or 42 degree day. It was super hot. And I heard this big commotion outside, and I go out, and poor little Subhadra's against a tree, and this big dog's there with his fangs showing, his heckles up. He's going, you know, and my God. And I started running for it. I was just going to kick it in the ribs because it's about to have a go at her, you know. But next thing, this orange streak went flying past me, and it was Charlie the cat. And I saw him. He's up ahead of me, and he paced himself so that when he arrived at the dog, he picked his whole body up and body slammed him with his whole body sideways. And it bowled. Charlie was a big cat. I mean, his head was as big as my wife's head. He was a huge tomcat. But he just he threw his whole body at this dog. The dog went over in a complete, you know, flip. And tail goes down, and all his poo came out. And he freaked and just went yelping off the property, and with Charlie in hot pursuit, you know. So to cut a long story short, we honoured Charlie. For the rest of the day, he was special. But my point is, this dog had left this horrible thing on the concrete tiles that we had out there. I had a training area there. I used to teach martial arts there. And but being a 42-degree day, I thought, oh, I'm not going to bother with it now. And sure enough, I went out to do some work, and I came back. And I come back, and it's dried up now. And so all I needed was a stick to flick it off into the garden somewhere, you know. The point is the sun purified it. It took out all of the moisture, all the contamination. It was no longer that filthy element it was before, right? So I always thought that was a good analogy for my heart. You know, when I approach Krishna, you know, Krishna's like the sun, and I'm like the dog poo, because my heart is not the cleanest place on the planet. But thankfully, because we're loved unconditionally, that one who loves us unconditionally appears via sound for my benefit, for your benefit. And all we have to do as individuals is take it and apply it in our life. Now, that's not about joining anything or quitting anything. That's just about me. Jiva doesn't make me chant. The Australian School of Meditation doesn't make me chant. I choose to chant because I know what it does. I can't give it up. You know? So hopefully we can rub some of that off onto you guys, you know, where you take it into your own heart and your own mind, in your own life as individuals, and chant in that way. In that way, be happy. Yeah. Because the chanting does wash away all that muck. So you begin to see things as they are and not as they appear to be, which is an amazing feeling. You know, you see through the illusion of this world sometimes. You know, it comes up to pull you away, and you chant, Krishna. Should I do this? No. Okay. Krishna, should I do this? Yes. Oh, okay. You know. So we try and serve in that way. All right, so without further ado, we'll do a short chant, and then we'll get our dear friend Jiva Krishna up to conclude the evening. All right. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radharani, Shyama Sundar, Vrindavan, Haribo. Radharani, Shyama Sundar, Vrindavan, Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Radharani, Shyama Sundar, Vrindavan, Haribo. Radharani, Shyama Sundar, Vrindavan, Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Radharani, Shyama Sundar, Vrindavan, Haribo. Radharani, Shyama Sundar, Vrindavan, Haribo. Let's all go 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Jiva Krishnadas, would you please come and chant for us?
I've heard that story before, Tad.
What's that?
The dog shit one.
The what?
The dog poo one.
Oh, have you?
Right.
You haven't heard it before?
No, I have. I've heard it with the cat slamming into the dog,
Yeah.
but I never heard the shit part.
No, that's the whole essence. That's why I tell it.
I know, that's what makes it.
Oh, Charlie.
Okay. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana Mohana, 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 Gopala, Govinda,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Gopala, 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 Govinda, 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 Gopala, Gopala, Gopala. Gopala, 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 Govinda, 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 Gopala, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Okay. How are we doing? We've got a couple more tunes to do before we finish up. We'll try a slightly faster one.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Okay, so we just do one more short one, everybody, just to take us out for the night. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, sorry to bring the proceedings to a close, everybody. We got to go at some point. Does everybody know that we chanted for an hour and a half just then, that last session? How did that feel? Long enough or not long enough?
It's really quickly.
Goes quickly, yeah. That's what it felt like to me too. So, but anyway, I know a lot of us got to get to work and got things to do tomorrow. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming. Thanks, Tad, for a beautiful talk earlier and all the descriptive stuff. It was very nice. And thanks to you all, everybody, for coming. And I know, I think a few of you first time here, so now you know what happens here on Sunday night. So you're welcome to come and join in the festivities every week. That's what real meditation is. It's not like, it's a festival actually. So you know, sometimes the festival's quiet. Like tonight, it's kind of quiet. Sometimes it can get a bit more rowdy, and actually we didn't do much dancing tonight, but sometimes it happens. So don't. So get ready for that. So that's it, everybody. There's a cup of chai for anybody who wants to stay around for a little bit longer, and I believe some cake, some beautiful cake.
What was the cake in celebration of Jiva?
Oh no, don't.
It's like your birthday last weekend.
Oh my god. Yes.
So, yeah, Avi brought a cake. Yeah.
It was 27 last week.
Yeah, that's right. How did you know? I was trying to keep it a secret. 27. Yes.
No,
Sounds
it
good.
was 21. 70.
Oh, it gets better. Okay.
And thanks to Jiva and Shannon for doing
And Avi. Avi brought that beautiful chocolate cake we're about to have. Okay, that's it, everybody. Hurry balls. Thank you.
And if anyone would like to make a small donation of any size to contribute to tonight's meal, there's a donation box. Cash and FPOS is welcome as well.